60% of the show, I had Samson winning.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Samson Dauda, who showed up with arguably one of the best looks of his entire career at this year's Arnold Classic UK. And his wife was the one coaching him for that show. She's the one who picked him for the Arnold UK. And he looked a lot more drier, a lot more shredded compared to the Arnold Ohio package. And even though he was a few pounds lighter compared to the Arnold Ohio stage, but still he was holding on to all his size while showcasing a lot more detail. And that look got appreciated by everyone including the judges. And that is why it wasn't a perfect score by Hadi Choopan at the Arnold UK compared to Arnold Ohio, where it was a slam dunk by Hadi. And yes, I know we cannot ignore the fact that Hadi Choopan went into that weekend with a lot of stress. First, because of the uncertainty of his visa, and later on that very little window where he had to carb up as well as dry out. These guys had to do the whole peaking process in just 24 hours. Not to mention drop the water after the flight. But still, Samson Dauda was absolutely superb here at the Arnold UK. Even a legend like Chris Cormier, who was watching there from the front rows, he admitted that it was really close between Hadi Choopan and Samson Dauda. In fact, Chris Cormier had Samson Dauda winning at one point.
I had Samson winning in my mind, which I never had that before. So, but he did fizzle out to me and started to sort of melt in that prejudging towards the end. And then I said, okay, they probably gave it to Hadi.
So the Arnold Sports Weekend is now in the history books. So what is next for Samson Dauda? Obviously, it is going to be the Olympia, which is happening in October. And the biggest question regarding his Olympia prep is this. Who will Samson hire as his coach moving forward? Will he just continue to do this whole thing with his wife for this upcoming Mr. Olympia as well? Because whatever protocol she got Samson to follow, that really worked in those 2 weeks after the Arnold Ohio. So Samson Dauda did talk about it, and this might be a possibility.
Is there any possibility I could go for the Olympia, just me and Malenga? Yes, that is one of the possibilities that we are actually thinking about and considering. So, yeah, it is in our basket of things we're thinking about.
And at that level, it is best not to have too many voices, too many cooks in the kitchen. So if Samson decides to do this prep with his wife, that might be a good decision. So Samson's proper off-season will start in about 2 months. He deserves that time to rest, to take a break, and give his body some time to recover. Because if you guys remember, he has been in prep for quite some time now. He was prepping for the Olympia last year, then the post-Olympia tour, and then he started prepping for the Arnold Classic. So that was a very long prep. So what did you guys think? What other coach do you have in your mind who can bring Samson Dauda at his all-time best and possibly help him win the Olympia title?
I want to make more improvements to my back. I want to make more improvements to my legs, to my arms. I want to make more improvement all around like I always do, man. This one, we know that the last 2 off seasons, I haven't tried to put on any more mass, so that's right out of the way. We're just going to make, we want more density, we want more muscle fibers in those areas. So that's the main focus for this off season, is just making improvement all around. Not necessarily put on mass, just make improvement all around.
Next up, we have another update from Akim Williams. So, we all remember Akim by his 2020 Olympia performance, where he placed top 6. And that happened for the very first time in his professional career. But an argument can be made that Akim was overall better here at the Arnold Classic UK. And there is no denying the fact that Akim looked really good at the Arnold UK, and he got rewarded for it. So it was unbelievable to see Akim nail his conditioning in 2 back-to-back shows. At least at the finals of both these shows, because his track record in the last 2 years, that wasn't that impressive, especially in terms of the conditioning. Now, he always had that crazy mass with great lines, but he rarely nailed his conditioning. Peaking right was always an issue for him, but he was able to do it in 2 back-to-back shows with Chris Zito this time. So the caption that he gave under his latest update, that is really interesting, and honestly, you cannot dispute that. His arms are looking humongous, and his waist looks smaller than ever. So what's next for Akim? Is he doing Detroit Pro? Well, he certainly can, considering the shape he is in at 3 weeks out of the show. And I think he should definitely do it. He has a really good chance of winning this show and getting his Olympia qualification for 2024. So the final list of Detroit Pro isn't final just yet. They haven't announced the final list. So John De La Rosa was supposed to do this show, but he hasn't gave a clear answer on what's next for him. So considering the lineup, Akim is probably going to be one of the biggest guys on that stage. So again, he has a really good shot of winning this show, secure his Olympia spot, and also win 25 grand. So qualifying for the Olympia isn't going to be an issue for Akim. The question is, can he crack top 6 at the Olympia level? Well, the guys at the top are so good that even Akim at his best will have a difficulty even cracking top 10 now. But do let me know what you guys think. The reigning 212 Mr. Olympia champion Keone Pearson is determined to make his back double bicep, which was one of his weakest shorts just a few years ago, and turn it into his strength. So Keone in 2024 is going to be on a whole different level, getting an entire year to improve on his physique without the pressure of competing in the middle of the year to earn his Olympia spot. That too for the very first time. That is something he hasn't done before. So I believe we are going to see the maximum improvements in his physique this year. So it is really mind-boggling that Keone is getting bigger and bigger every week, and yet he's staying super lean in the offseason. He has been in the offseason for what, like almost 3 months now. So from that perspective, that is an insane offseason body composition. So we had guys like Kamal, a former 212 Mr. Olympia champion, who saw Keone getting 6th place in 2022. He claimed it right there and then, that if Keone nails it, it is gonna be game over for everyone. And back in 2021 when Keone was making his Olympia debut, Shaun Clarida said that this guy can place as high as top 3 at his first ever Mr. Olympia. So it seems like this year he's gonna create more distance between him and the other guys in October. So Shaun Clarida and his coach Matt Jensen, they are gonna do everything in their power to get that title back. But at this point, it is a fact that they are up against a genetic freak who has one of the most beautiful shapes, one of the most aesthetic lines in the IWB Pro League right now. On top of that, he is filling the gaps in his physique pretty damn fast. So it isn't gonna be easy to dethrone Keone Pearson. Do you guys remember this Brazilian who beat Wesley Wiesers at the Dubai Pro Classic Physique in 2023? So some people thought that he should have beat Terence Suffin as well that day, and he should have won the entire thing. But Fabio Junio placed runner-up in that show. So he was definitely the most muscular guy out there. He was more muscular than anyone in that lineup. But whether he had classic lines, or whether he was classic enough to win that show, that was a different question. And maybe that is the reason he did not do quite well at the Olympia in 2023. He was 14th in that show, and that was his Olympia debut. So fast forward to 2024. Fabio is now less than 2 weeks out of the Arnold Brazil, where he's gonna compete in classic physique again. And with that vacuum and that amazing waist, he's getting a lot of attention. Because at the Dubai Pro last year, his waist was one of the biggest knocks on his physique. So he has this ability to come in insanely shredded and peel to the bone. And he's a big guy, and the amount of detail that he brings onto the stage, that is truly nuts. Especially if you look at the side shots and the back shots even at the Dubai Pro. He was dwarfing everyone, and he had some insane detail in both these shots. So a lot of the fans believe that Fabio could have done a lot better in the 212 division if he took his time to grow, especially his legs. But for now, it is classic for him. The thickness on this guy, especially from the back and from the sides, that was insane at Dubai Pro last year. And this is gonna be an improved version of him, especially from the front. So Fabio has a good shot at winning the Arnold Brazil and get his Olympia qualification for 2024. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.